Good evening and welcome to the briefing room. I'm Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan. Viewers, with over 22 lakh students who will be appearing for the NEET re-examination on the 21st of June, now the NEET exam has gone into full security lockdown 5 days before it is to be written. 5 days before the re-exam, trial runs are on to transport the question papers in Indian Army helicopters under the protection of Indian Air Force officials. And the centre has also gone one step further. Today, the centre has temporarily restricted access to the Telegram messaging app till a day after the NEET re-examination. The app will remain blocked till the 22nd of June, and that is till the next day of the exam for users across India. Add to that, the government has also asked the app to disable the message editing feature until 30th June in India, saying that it had been used to fabricate evidence of paper leaks. Adding to the security layer, the Indian Air Force has also, apart from transport planes, deployed its Mi-17 for the last mile connectivity of the test papers. Now, this app, that is Telegram, will remain blocked until the 22nd of June. This is till the next day of the exam for users across India. That's not all. With the government asking the app to message or really handle some of these features which disable the message editing, Centre has gone ahead and taken these steps, invoking Section 69A of the Information Technology Act or the IT Act. The argument from the testing agency, the NTA, is that this would not only help prevent paper leaks, but would also help in targeting the cheating rackets. After all, the main objective of the NTA this time is to ensure that the organized exam fraud rackets are not in a position to hijack the exam once again, and the integrity of the examination process is protected. As it is, questions are being raised over the credibility of the exam process altogether, and this is something that the NTA and the government would be hoping to fix this time round.
This is definitely a huge collapse in the trust that they have over the system and the conduction of the exams.
Every year this keep on happening. So last year also there was a thing that there was paper got leaked, but still they didn't do anything. They forwarded with the paper with the result. This year is also happening the same. I don't think people have a lot of trust in the institution.
I honestly don't think so that anybody trusts the government and anybody trusts the education minister, the department anymore, because if they had to conduct the examination, they would have done it properly the first time. And you can imagine so many students have suffered because of this.
It is not really the government which plays always a role in it, but I think the security must be more tight. And as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu also proposed that the 12th board's examination, the marks that you've gained from there, that should also be considered.
Now, the NTA, the National Testing Agency, has admitted that this ban on Telegram is not foolproof and will certainly not work against VPNs or virtual private networks which can be downloaded on any mobile device. With that being said, the idea behind the action is to curb the NEET fraud market. Moreover, the NTA argues that the idea is to ensure that students do not get defrauded by miscreants in the name of paper leaks. The NTA also says that stringent measures had to be taken considering the fact that the agency had only 37 days to prepare for the re-examination as compared to 6 months for the initial exam.
See, some people can operate some channels by using VPNs, or some people can. We also found that some of the channels were operated from outside India. So there are two risks. One, people can operate some channels by using VPN, or they can operate from outside India. We found some channels being operated from countries which are not the best friends of India. So that can happen, but the fact is that the lakhs of students who were accessing them, they will not be able to access that. Even though they can continue operating some channels, but if there is no clientele, the fraud will be prevented and the students will be protected from losing money and from wasting their time in chasing fake question papers.
However, there are many who are asking today, why would such restrictions be imposed on Telegram alone and not for other platforms such as, say, WhatsApp? Here's why the action for now is only on Telegram. Number one, this is an app for cyber frauds. In fact, 339 cyber criminal channels have been reported on Telegram in the past. There's also the fact that the channels are followed by 24 million users. These channels have openly advertised the leaked NEET papers in the past as well. The Telegram user cannot be traced to a phone number, unlike WhatsApp, because WhatsApp, the mobile number is specifically mentioned, and therefore it becomes better at policing and monitoring the source of that information. We've also seen in the past that Meta has cooperated with the governments, unlike Telegram in the past. This is, of course, what the government is saying at this point of time. Now, we are also seeing a response from Telegram's founder. He's responded to the development, and you can see the social media post of Pavel Durov, and he says that this entire move is questionable. He's specifically saying that India's IT ministry has banned Telegram for 1 week because some users shared leaked exam questions. This punishes 150 million plus ordinary Telegram users in India, not the insiders rather, who leaked the exam materials. And the ban hasn't stopped anything. The leaks just moved to other apps. Now, the opposition on its part has also questioned the rationale behind the move. Opposition says the government must instead sack the education minister rather than imposing bans on apps such as Telegram.
खाली टेलीग्राम क्यों रोका? और भी कई चैनल है. अगर सरकार ने रोका एक को, तो उसको क्यों रोका? तो फिर ये फैसला तो कॉमन सबके लिए होना चाहिए.
ये पूरी तरीके से लोकतंत्र की हत्या हो रही है. कोई व्यक्ति, कोई भी संस्था अगर सही चीज दिखाना चाहती है तो उसको बंद कर दो, लॉक कर दो, हेलीकॉप्टर से ले जाएंगे. अरे धर्मेंद्र प्रधान का इस्तीफा मोदी जी को लेना, जो बर्खास्त करिए ना, ईमानदारी के प्रतीक बनते हैं मोदी जी. बर्खास्त करिए धर्मेंद्र प्रधान को, तत्काल हमारी मांग है. और निश्चित तौर से ये चीजें पूरे बच्चों का भविष्य खराब कर रही है सरकार और बर्बाद कर रही है.
पूरा फेलियर है सरकार का. टेलीग्राम का क्या मतलब है? वो एक ऐसा चैनल है जिसमें इनक्रिप्टेड या क्या होता है. ऐसे तो 50 हैं. व्हाट्सएप है, व्हाट्सएप क्यों नहीं बंद करते? व्हाट्सएप तो बकवास चैनल है. अगर बंद करना, मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ, बंद करो व्हाट्सएप को. इस देश का युवा जो है, जो रोज बर्बाद हो रहा है, वो बच जाएगा.
Now, adding to the stress of the government is a critic who was earlier part of the BJP itself. Yes, we're talking about K. Annamalai. He says that this military-style lockdown is only adding to the stress of students. He specifically says that whether we're talking about the CRPF escort, Indian Air Force airlift, and monitoring by the PMO specifically, all of this is adding, and saying that this is not to buy military-grade software. These are arrangements made for NEET 2026. He's saying that this adds to the stress of students, the ballooning pressure on students themselves, and that issues persist in downloading admit cards. The approach devised may not resolve the issue, is what Annamalai, who's a former state president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, has stated on record. Now, what really are we talking about? Because the criticism doesn't end here. The Internet Freedom Foundation says that this is just a band-aid and not an actual solution. Further, the Internet Freedom Foundation has also called this a disproportionate response and a deflection from repeated failures. The critics question the government's move, as they say such steps do not address the systemic source of the leaks, and further will only impact ordinary students who use apps like Telegram for study groups. The BJP on its part assures that all steps are being taken to ensure that there is a free and fair examination.
देखिए, सरकार किसी भी शर्त पर नीट का एग्ज़ाम बहुत अच्छे से कराने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है और उसके लिए जो कुछ करना पड़ेगा सरकार कर रही है.
But the real question is, when will India have leak-proof examinations? In neighboring China, in South Korea, several such examinations have been held on a regular basis with no such leaks being reported. Here's what we're talking about specifically. In China, in Gaokao 2026, we've seen 13.3 million students and no paper leak in over a decade. South Korea's CSAT examination, 5 lakh plus students. The last leak has been never. There's never been any leak as far as this particular examination is concerned. So if these two countries can do it, why is it not possible here in India is a question that certainly needs to be asked. Let's quickly take this across to our guest now joining us. With us is Tuhin Sinha, BJP's national spokesperson. Also with us is Dr. Sunny Dhiman, who's a former JNU Students' Union leader. I'm coming across to you first, Tuhin Sinha. You know, leave aside the criticism of the Congress party. They're demanding, the sacking of the minister, so on and so forth. Let's put aside the political charge. What the Telegram founder, Pavel Durov, is saying is that this is penalizing the 150 million plus genuine users, not those who are leaking the question paper or in any way involved in any illegal activity. Is this an overreaction?
Good evening, Madhav. Good evening, everybody. Madhav, the message is very clear. Come what it takes, we are going all out to ensure a flawless re-examination of NEET on 21st June. Now, to deal with any crisis situation, you need certain short-term measures, you need a mid-term measure, and you need a long-term measure. The short-term measures center around ensuring, a flawless exam on 21st June, which is where some, decisions, some immediate decisions have been taken, which certain people may have a problem with. But all of these are to ensure that exams go in a flawless manner. So whether it is IAF copters ferrying exam papers, whether it is, amplified surveillance, whether it is enhanced biometric, or whether it is the last minute suspension of Telegram. The midterm measure was announced 1 month back. NEET will be going completely digital, which will minimize, to my understanding, the scope for any flaw from next year. And the long-term measure is like, the examples, other examples that you were giving, having a completely unblemished, completely flawless exam paper. So this is a process, I think, that needs to be understood. But I think, the most people, the people who are most outraged are perhaps some of the toolkit politicians of the opposition. For all you know, they might be using Telegram to spread canards and misinformation.
I'm going to come to the political charges in just a minute.
Years.
But Tuhin, somewhere down the line, I just want to ask you a simple question. The very fact that we have to resort to the Indian Air Force to transport our question papers, the very fact that we have to ban an entire app for the period of a week or 10 days or however long it is, all of this shows that fundamentally the system has failed in protecting the interests of the students. If even we can't transport our exam papers and prevent leaks.
Madhav, the fact that NEET exam paper leaked in the first week of May obviously shows that the system had certain flaws. Now, do we worry about what people say and not ensure a foolproof exam on 21st June, or do we go all out and ensure that remedies are in place? Of course, we have seen the Congress era where, in Maharashtra in 2012, 2013, there were more than 40 paper leaks during the Prithviraj Chauhan government. They remained unabashed. We can't remain unabashed in that manner. In fact, even during Ashok Gehlot's tenure recently in Rajasthan, there were 39 paper leaks in his 5 years, which included one case where his son was involved. So, you can't expect the BJP government at the center to be unabashed like the Congress government. We are going all out to ensure a completely foolproof, immediate exam
the
on 22nd.
The only point is, if other countries can do it without getting the military involved, why are we not able to do it? Is a simple point that I was making with the example of China and Korea's before us. But let me bring in Sunny Devan. Sunny Devan, I don't want to make this a whataboutery debate, but at the end of the day, he says that there are many such leaks that have happened in the case of Maharashtra government and previous Congress regimes as well. And there is also an important aspect when it comes to Telegram. The Telegram offers anonymity to the user, to the sender. They can, edit the messages. They don't have to commit their phone number, for instance, while using the app. And all of these, make it quite different from other social media communication apps, which is why they've had to resort to this measure, says the NTA. Your response to the BJP spokesperson.
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to the nation. घर में चोर घुस आया, दरवाजा अंदर से बंद कर लो. पेपर लीक डार्क वेब पर हुआ, 6 लाख रुपए क्रिप्टो करेंसी में एक्सचेंज हुआ, टेलीग्राम बंद कर दो. आर्मी हेलीकॉप्टर पे पेपर भेजो, बट प्राइवेट वेंडर जो है वही प्रिंट करेगा जिसने पेपर लीक हुआ, जहां से पेपर लीक हुआ. क्वेश्चन पेपर सेट करता है एनटीए, प्रिंट करता है प्राइवेट वेंडर, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करता है प्राइवेट वेंडर, सेंटर चलाता है प्राइवेट वेंडर, बायोमेट्रिक वेरिफिकेशन करता है प्राइवेट वेंडर, बट सॉल्यूशन ऐप बैन कर दो. As if India doesn't have VPN, which era we are living in. And first of all, let me tell you, UPSC ये सब खुद करता है, वहां कोई प्राइवेट वेंडर नहीं है और यूपीएससी का पेपर लीक नहीं होता है. And you might be wondering why I'm wearing this dark sunglasses. And this is not dark sunglasses, this is black जादुई चश्मा. इसे लगाओ और आपको दुनिया वैसी दिखेगी जैसे सरकार दिखाना चाहती है. बहुत सुविधाजनक है. डार्क वेब और वेंडर नहीं दिखता इस चश्मे से, नेक्सस नहीं दिखता, कितने लाखों स्टूडेंट्स का जीवन बर्बाद हो रहा है वो नहीं दिखता, स्टूडेंट्स ने सुसाइड किया वो नहीं दिखता. लेकिन क्या आपको क्या दिखाई देता है? स्पेक्टिकल. This is nothing but spectacle. Right now, this army helicopter, I'm really ashamed, you know. We are living in 2026. India is so-called IT hub of the world, and we cannot even conduct India's top medical examination. You know, this is not incompetence. This is something बहुत ही कंसिस्टेंसी से इनकम्पिटेंस उसे की जिसे की जो की जाती है, दैट इज नॉट कॉल्ड एज इनकम्पिटेंस. दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ द नेक्सस. दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ द सिस्टम. एंड व्हाट वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ, वी आर सिटिंग ऑन आवर टीवी स्क्रीन clapping on helicopters, and we have bought the ticket from the government of India. This is the Sarkari scheme. This is Sarkari scheme, Modi Sarkar scheme. You know, I was in Ladakh for a month. I was traveling in different parts of Ladakh. People were complaining in the border region that, you know, thousands of kilometers land has
no, I don't want to. Let's not mix up issues, please. Sunny Deepan, that's a very important issue. I have no problem discussing this issue, but let's not confuse those issues, please. Allow me to put the very point. The important point that you made, though, is this: Tuhin Sinha, there is VPN. Even the NTA DG is admitting that VPN can be used to trick these particular apps or use these particular apps. There are also other platforms. How do we know the question paper will not be sort of disseminated through WhatsApp, through email, through phone? Through SMS, details can be shared. So is it really a foolproof measure that we have taken?
No, what are we debating? You know, why are we getting into the whataboutery of what needs to be banned, what does not need to be banned? Tomorrow, if the NTA decides that, you know, there are certain other apps that need to be banned, you know, based upon its perception, based upon its understanding of the threat perception, it has every right to ban a few more apps. So, you know, I think look at the larger picture. All those people who are giving this logic that ab chor jab aayega, ab tala lagate or whatever, when you have high fever, when you have high temperature which is going out of hand, you know, while you diagnose the illness, you will certainly have a paracetamol to ensure that the fever subsides.
Okay,
These measures are primarily...
Extreme measures are justified by extreme circumstances. Quick response, Sunny Devan.
Is it part of the Dhurandhar 3 script कि एनटीए को किसी ने बोला कि टेलीग्राम बैन कर दो, मतलब आपके नलके का पानी लीक हो रहा है और आपने दरवाजा बंद कर दिया एज इफ अब लीक बंद हो गया है? क्या डार्क वेब आपने बंद कर दिया? आप डार्क वेब पर 6 लाख में बिका, ये तो एविडेंस है. लेट मी टेल यू वेरी कैटेगोरिकली, Radhakrishnan committee 2 years back, 1 year back, they have submitted a report which has told government to take certain action, and those actions were categorically कि प्राइवेट वेंडर मतलब ठेके पे एग्जामिनेशन देश के भविष्य को जूती पे नहीं रखा जाएगा. ये रिकमेंडेशन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को दी गई है. पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी की रिकमेंडेशन है. देखिए, मेरी नहीं है, एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन. एंड इट इज नॉट न्यूक्लियर साइंस. एनक्रिप्शन नाम की चीज आ चुकी है 10 साल से, लेकिन हिंदुस्तान आज भी पीछे क्यों चल रहा है?
Sunny Devan, we'll have to leave it there. Completely out of time. It's a debate that everyone's going to be watching out for. And of course, the conduct of the examination itself, will it be smooth? Will it be without hassles? Will students have any kind of further harassment to go through? All of these are going to be points that everyone is going to be watching very closely. And the NTA is certainly on test over there, not just the students. We'll have to leave it there. Tuhin Sinha as well as Sunny Devan, thanks so much for joining us this evening.